state your name for the camera? Or please state your name and how long you've been AACF for.
My name is Kelly Jinguji. I've been in AACF for a year now.
What was your first impression? What first brought you to AACF?
In all honesty, Joe brought me to AACF. When we were at United, there was this question that we got to ask, and it was like a slide, like it was like a little poll, and it said like, what brought you to AACF? And obviously a lot of people said God, fellowship, community, but on the screen was also Joseph Sang. So we know that the UW people responded with Joseph Sang brought them to AACF at United. And like that was funny, and that was like a little haha moment for us at United. But for me, it's like actually true. Joseph Sang is like 100% of the reason why I'm here, plus God's conviction and plus free bond me on the first large group of this past fall quarter. So all of those things all came together in God's perfect orchestration that allowed me to be here today. LOL, guys. A little teehee. Teehee.
Alright, on set.
Quiet on set.
Hello.
Peter.
I know your iPad's there. You didn't see anything.
Yeah. Run away. Bye, Peter.
Alright, take 2. What were your first impressions of the community here?
I think at the first large group I ever went to, one of my first impressions was that the community was extremely welcoming. The first person that talked to me was Ryan Lim, and he like came up to me out of nowhere and was like, hello. And I was like, oh, hi. And Ryan asked me if I was a freshman, and that was slightly strange and a little upsetting, but that's fine. Other things I think that stood out to me about this community was that people were really transparent and honest. You could tell that the brotherhood and sisterhood here was really genuine. And I think being a senior and having experienced so much of college and then coming into the community kind of as an external person, I was able to really see how much people loved on one another here. And there was a true like authenticity and intentionality in the relationships that people had with one another here. And I think that was something that really stood out to me about AACF, and is something that I have seen continue to grow throughout the year here. And that's been such a privilege and a blessing to experience.
Why did you stay in AACF?
I stayed in AACF because, kind of similar to what I just responded with, but really because of the intentionality and the authenticity and the transparency that comes with the relationships that I've built here. I think everyone here comes with so many different experiences, walks with Christ, and different just abilities to pour into one another, which makes every single person in AACF such an asset to our community. And so I think that I've stayed just because I've seen so many people pour into one another and pour into Christ's kingdom. And that has been something that has made AACF a really anointed and awesome place to be a part of. And I think the community here is just an enriched and beautiful space and almost like a glimpse of heaven. And so I think that has really stuck with me throughout this year and has allowed me to continue to want to grow with the people here too.
What are your most meaningful moments in AACF? Do you have any specific stories or?
Yeah, so meaningful moments, I think in regards to in general this year, I think it's actually been really cool to start a lifting ministry with Resource Ryan this year. Lifting has always been like a big hobby of mine, and so being able to turn that into a ministry that has allowed me to grow with people in AACF, teach people how to lift, or just work out alongside people who already know has been such a great way to fellowship with people here and to grow closer with people through just like a really fun hobby that you can share together. I think other fun experiences and memories are like AA United that we went to in April. Just such a fun trip to be able to head down to California and meet our brother chapters and our other chapters down in California too. And just I really cherish like all the small times, just like when me, Joe, or Evan just go out to eat dinner, or like when me and Janice and whoever else, like we just go out and like go to coffee runs. I think there's small moments that show that the community here just really supports one another and like truly wants to spend time together. And so those are experiences of college that I'll never forget too. I think the biggest takeaway I have learned from AACF is that building and maintaining a community that is rooted in Christ is one of the best ways that you can foster your faith, but also to just continue to grow your faith as an individual as well. I think knowing and loving the AACF community has taught me that Christ's kingdom is the sweetest kingdom of all. And as someone who was seeking so much longing for sisterhood and belonging, which led me to join a sorority in my early years of college, this is the eternal like sisterhood, eternal community that I was looking for the whole time. And it is bittersweet to know that I found that in my last year of college, but what a blessing it is to be able to even experience it before I graduated, right? So I think I have just truly learned the power of fellowship and the power of community, the power of walking alongside people. This life is not meant to be lived in solitude. We are meant to be in community, and AACF really exemplifies that. Oh, we got a little lighting change.
Yeah, oh, that's all right. What makes Christian community different/important to you?
I think similar to what I explained last time too, when we walk with God, we're not meant to walk in solitude. And I think a lot of my faith journey up until this point of college has been me journeying with God alone. And I think that's why my faith life has been so tumultuous. It's never been consistent because I haven't had people to hold me accountable, especially peers. So I think for this particular community, what I've learned and like what I've grown in this way is just understanding the true value of fellowship and the true value of Christian community and Christian brotherhood and sisterhood, and how we are called to love one another, but we are also called to push each other to want to grow, to be better each and every day. And I think the community here that we've built and that the people have sustained here really exemplifies that. There is a part of it that really cherishes one another and loves on one another as you are, but also wants to push you to grow closer to Christ. And so I think that is the value of true Christian community, is like walking that tightrope and balance between loving you today and wanting you to grow.
How have you grown from your time at AACF?
Oh, I could talk so much on this question. I think when I think about who I am today, a version of myself even a year or two ago would not recognize the woman that she sees today. And I think it is a testament to how God has just been shaping my heart and my faith in so many ways. I think I am struggling with things and asking so many questions that I never thought I would be asking myself, just because I never thought I would be this close to Christ in any season of my life right now. And my faith has grown like magnitudes exponentially in my one single year here, which I think is just such a powerful testimony to how AACF and how blessed I've been by this community, that they've just walked alongside me, accepted me for where I was, and prayed over me and poured into me. And just being able to see the fruits of what that looks like for me personally has been like just a testament to how good and how powerful God is. I think in general, it's like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was telling me that it's so cool to see how God has been growing and like God has been working in your life. And I think it's always easy for an external person to identify when you've grown or when you've changed, but I think it's hard for like you personally to see yourself grow. But I think that this year of college, I've truly felt and seen and really observed how God has worked within my life. And for the first time, I see my heart changing and I see my heart growing, and I see myself like longing for Christ. And this is something that I never really thought I would experience, just because my faith life has been so up and down. And so what a blessing it is to be able to end this college time on such a high note in my faith life. And I just truly thank God and AACF for that.
What's a piece of advice you would give to the upperclassmen now that we're gone?
Upperclassmen, these like next 2 years or year, if you're a junior, are gonna fly by. So just cherish that time so close to your heart. I think college can feel I feel like the days feel long, but the year is always so short, right? So I think sometimes we feel like we're just running on fumes. We got school, exams, AACF, friends to care for, food that you have to cook, right? Like the days can go on forever, but the time will zoom by. So just cherish your remaining time here, cherish one another and really pour into each other. I think the people that you'll meet in college are truly lifelong friends. And so really cherish these last couple years you have. Be mentors to the underclassmen who will look up to you so much. And just, really, really soak in this time that you have left in college for sure.
What is a piece of advice you would give to your younger self or to the underclassmen?
I think the biggest piece of advice I would give is to make decisions with clarity and with Christ in mind. I think it's easy to want to kind of pursue so many different avenues. College is just like a Pandora's box of opportunity, and like you can really become whoever you want to be. So with that responsibility, just remember to keep Christ at the center of all of those decisions that you make. And remember to call your mom. I think that's one big piece of advice that I would give. I think a big portion of college, I really neglected my family for some of it just because I was always like, oh, I'm too busy. Like, I don't have time. But I think the biggest piece of advice I could honestly give is to cherish the people that have come before you, like, and your parents who are supporting you and your family. Love into them very deeply.
All right, any final words or goodbyes?
Oh, UW-AACF, I could say so many things, but I would cry. So I think the biggest thing that I just want to say from the bottom of my heart is thank you. This community and each and every single one of you guys has blessed me in so many ways. I have learned so much about what it means to be a sister in Christ and to walk alongside people in eternal community and eternal fellowship with one another. And I had always prayed for a community like this to... Oh.
Can I do that again?
Which one?
The last question.
That's fine.
Okay, take 3.
Are you gonna add? Oh.
Any final words or goodbyes?
UW-AACF, I could say so many things, but I don't want to say too much or else I'll literally cry. So I guess what I'll say is just from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for welcoming me as a senior. I think it is so a little bit bittersweet that I wasn't able to join this community earlier, but man, what an amazing and awesome year that it's been for me. If I haven't gotten a chance to like interact with you, or if I know you very closely, each and every one of you has impacted my faith life and my college life in so many formidable ways. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm so thankful to know each and every single one of you guys. Thank you for all the laughs and the tears and the dinners and the one-on-ones that we've had and the Gains for God meets that we've done. It's just been such a blessing to be able to walk alongside each and every one of you and really truly live out what it means to love one another in eternal community. This place is truly something so special, and God is just working so like evidently within this community and within UW in general, and like what an amazing testimony it is to be able to call this my home for this past year of college. I will miss every single one of you guys, but I will still be in the area, so wherever you are, I'll be there too. I love each and every one of you guys, and I know this is only the beginning of an amazing journey and walking alongside you in eternal Christian brotherhood and sisterhood for the rest of our lives. But thank you, UW-AACF. It's been a fun ride, and keep living it up for real.